Can
and
you
you
see
look
me?
so. I could see you. You're beautiful. I just want to zoom in more because I mean that's what I paid for a studio display for, so I could stare at you because I've been looking at you on the phone for years. So now I want to see you on a giant display. That sounded really creepy. Like I'm
It
a like a,
did.
sounded
It
like I was
did.
Patrick Bateman. Well, I wanted to see it full size on the screen, so instead I bought this Apple display. You like Huey Lewis and the News? I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out. As I have my headphones are all messed up. This is not a good look for Troy. This is a man. Can you tell I've been this is like what divorced dads look like. This is a man freshly broken up with. So like I just don't give a shit. I have a stain on my David Letterman shirt from like 30 years ago. I don't care anymore.
What is it? What is it? Is that ADHD? What are you?
Broken up with.
Oh no. But dude, being single is really fun though. It is fun to be free. Come on. Like you
And
can
when
do
you have
whatever you
notoriety.
want, Troy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you see all these Batman behind me? I was doing that before. Like, and when you have notoriety, like you and I have, it's great too because you have this mentality of like, what am I? You literally know that you're the catch. I don't know if you feel that way. I feel so. You go into it going, okay, yeah. I mean, like, I don't care if you work at Foot Locker or whatever but like at the end of the day, I'm gonna have the better story than whatever your day was because what I do is cool and you do data entry.
Or like you date someone that's as on a similar level success wise as you. Have you done that? Have you done that?
I haven't.
It's just
really.
There's just not many that really hot, funny, successful women out there. Like there's just not many.
Like, yeah, like
there's not many.
I almost said people
So
like
rare.
I was bi. Yeah, I know. I'm talking to one of like 4 right now.
Thanks to Cash App for sponsoring this episode. So real talk, I used to be that person with like 5 different payment apps and it was honestly a mess. But Cash App is literally the only one I actually use now. I send money to friends. I get my Cash App card, which has these insane concert pre-sales and the security is legit. I literally declined a sketchy charge last week and sent me a notification. No hidden fees, no drama. If you weren't up to speed already, Cash App is way more than just a safe way to send and receive money. With the Cash App card, you unlock a ton of perks without all the hidden fees. Enjoy benefits like exclusive early access to nationwide concert pre-sales, Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, to name a few recent examples, plus discounts on everyday purchases and popular brands you're probably already spending money on. Add your card to your digital wallet to make your money move easier. Cash App also adds security to your money by declining suspicious card transactions and sending you a notification to make sure the payment is really you. If your card is ever lost or stolen, you can lock it with just one tap right in the app. Spend with confidence with the Cash App card today. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CASHAPP10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's banking partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC, Cash App Visa Debit Flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and Bancorp Bank NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton Prepaid Card, Sutton Debit Flex Card, and Bancorp Debit Flex Card. Cash App green features, savings, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Incorporated brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
It's different men and women too, because like when the dude, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I remember him talking about.
I looked at your stories and I was like, oh, he loves Madonna. Okay.
Yeah, that's my dog. But I remember him talking years ago about Madonna and like the jealousy that the two of them had because males and females are very different with artists. Like women would faint at his concerts, try to touch him. They would lose their. That doesn't happen at a Madonna concert. That doesn't mean she's not one of the all-time greats, but like women also will, like, I've been stalked. I have batarangs and swords all over my apartment. Ain't nobody getting in my house. But like the shit that happens to women, I'm not worried about being sexually assaulted or like being killed, you know, but like the disparity between men and women in show business. Yes, a lot of it exists, but a lot of the time I feel like it's an excuse for people to be like, that's why I'm not that far, when you know more than anyone else because you have incredible work ethic. The difference between people who are successful and those who are the ones who do it. Like that, there's no cheat code. You just have to do it.
You just have to do it. And then you have to ride the waves. Like I've been making content for like 14 years now. And it's so crazy.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really impresses me about you, because in this day and age, the way the system is kind of built out is like you have like one blow up year and then they say you've fallen off or you have a flop era or whatever. You have to learn how to maintain a discipline, patience, like, and that's when the best stuff comes out, right? Because I mean, I'm sure there's been times where you're putting stuff out because you feel like you got to hit the algorithm mark, and you're like, I didn't let the art speak. That wasn't me at all.
Oh, 100%. I've like hated my content at certain times and then loved it again. But you just like kind of have to keep going. Though, like I heard this one, like I get the one hit wonder thing where it's like, yeah, they're like popping at this year and then they fall off. But I also heard a quote that I really like that's like, once you're in, you're in. Mm-hmm. And I kind of held on to that. I was like, once you're in, you're in. Okay, cool. I'm in. So now like, again, it's like just riding
you
the
grew
waves.
And you grew in numbers and you evolved in content, and you know you had children. Like people got to grow with you as a person. Like if Laura wins and you're a fan of Laura, they felt like they were winning too. Like you had no scandals, nothing. There was no blackface. Everybody, like, it worked out. They got to watch. You became sort of the face of influence, because so many, and you see it all the time, and this goes for men and women. So many influencers will get into it and then they will do sketches and they're great and it's funny, and then they just immediately become the flat tummy tea people, and it's just like, oh my god, dude, like you're nothing now. Like you, James Charles. It's just like the weird
flat tummy tea.
And you are somebody, as far as the outside looking in, as many years as I have. I mean, when was like your big blow up? 2015?
I would say that's wow.
11 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That was like when Facebook
really
like would have videos have like a thing. That was crazy. Like you used to not be able to put stuff on Instagram like that. Like, and you literally came up in the era where you were the blueprint for so many of us.
I was like one of the first Facebook influencers. And even my manager at the time was like, why are you posting your content on Facebook? You can't even monetize it. And I was like, yeah, but it's not saturated like YouTube. And when we are able to monetize it, I'm going to be laughing. And that's literally how I bought my house, was just through Facebook monetization. I have 14 million followers on there. I don't even go on there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, you know, so,
I do the Midwest a lot, and there's people who are like, I see your stuff in Facebook Reels. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's working. And I don't agree with the whole you're not making monetization thing off it, because people are seeing your face and they're recognizing you and they're going to want to engage with your content. No, like those people don't know everything. They work for you.
But wait, what about you? So when did you start as a stand-up or online? I need to learn so much about you.
I started, I was a theater kid when I was coming up. My dad owned
And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Connecticut, and the like hood parts of Connecticut, not like the good part, the Oxycontin part. And I got into theater when I was like in maybe middle school. My dad was like a theater director when I was a kid, and I was just very fascinated with like the whole, I don't know, element of like getting to watch a show on a public school budget. Like it was amazing to watch like The Wizard of Oz when we didn't have drinking water without rust in it. But it was one of my favorite things to do was just be in front of an audience. And when I was in high school, I started auditioning for like Shakespeare plays and stuff. And then around the time I was like 17. I was always a big fan of of late night, like Letterman and Conan and Fallon. And I learned there was a train that could take me from Connecticut to New York. And then I started doing stand up at open mics. I would sleep like on the back stairs of clubs. I would sleep on the subway. I would drop out on eighth period and just go to Manhattan and do as much comedy as I can. One time I stole a bottle of Jack Daniels from a club. I have no idea where I got the balls to do that, but I did. And then right before my senior year, I was on Fallon. I went to go see a taping, and they were doing a segment where they were interacting with the audience. And I yelled at Jimmy Fallon until he picked me. I wasn't leaving without Jimmy Fallon picking me. So we did this segment called Freestyling with the Roots. And it was when they would ask questions and the Roots would make a song based on your answers. And the question was, the royal baby had just been born like 15 to 13 years ago. He was like, what would you name the baby? And I said, Prince Lucifer. And the Roots made a song about it. And I went back home, saw myself on TV. And it was one of those things where you come from a place where that doesn't happen to people. Yeah. So you're like, oh, that was just I know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life moment. I'm going to go to New York every single weekend and do this. So by the time I graduate, I'm going to be able to have a life out there. Then I got a job as a King Kong mascot at the Empire State Building. I dressed up as a gorilla for 5 years on the 80th floor and took pictures with people in. So if you
how was that?
Horrible. I hated that job.
Were you just like sweating all the time?
All the time. I was getting punched by every nationality of every person ever because they couldn't register that there's a person in there. Like the way people send you horrible messages online, they don't figure that there's a person. It's the same when they see a guy in a monkey suit. They're like, oh, I left that job because one time a guy picked me up he trumped me. He grabbed me by the crotch and he picked me up so far that my legs were off the ground. And then I hit him in the back of the head. And then I went down to my boss and I was like, yo, you have to kick him out. They sided with him. So I handed in a piece of paper, which was a quote from Seinfeld. And it was a picture of Kramer. That was like, I don't even really work here. And then I left. And that was a week before COVID. Great timing on my part. And I've been doing stand-up full-time since then.
So, random question for you guys. If you could add literally any discount on your debit card, where would it be? Like for me, it's obviously matcha because I'm that person. But Cash App Card actually does this. You get discounts at places you actually spend your money on, plus early access to concert presales. It's kind of sick. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App Card for purchases, you can earn interest on your savings, no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements. Also, you can hit your savings goals even faster by turning on roundups on your Cash App Card. With roundups, every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings. Don't let your money sit around and gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of interest savings on Cash App today. Spend with confidence with the Cash App Card today. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code CASHAPP10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App Bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, Cash App Visa, debit flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bank Corp NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated. See terms and conditions for the Sutton Prepaid Card, Sutton Debit Flex Card, and Bancorp Debit Flex Card. Cash App Green features savings, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Incorporated brand. Visit Cash App/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Living in New York, it's the best place in the planet. It's the only place in the planet to become a comedian. It is comedy originated here. It used to be a thing where people after Broadway shows would go let down their hair and sing their show tunes, and then you'd have an MC come on, talk, do a little bit of jokes, and then stand-up is inherently New York, and if I didn't do stand-up, I wouldn't live here. I've been here for 13 years. I've been doing comedy for 13 years. I worked the clubs for a solid 10 years, 10 shows a night, from 17 to 27. Started posting things on TikTok because I see my friends post on TikTok, and I'm like, man, James would say some shit like that. I'm way funnier than him. Then your audience finds you. You know that. Like, they find you, and if you're lucky, they like you and they want to grow with you and get to know your stuff just beside your content. And then you want to give them stuff that they're going to like, and you find purpose in entertaining. And I'm lucky enough now to where I get to go all across the country, New Jersey, Connecticut, all across the country.
Do you like touring?
I love touring. It is my favorite thing I never really traveled when I was a kid, ever. And my first year touring, I got to see the country that I've lived in, and I got to, because you live in a bubble when you live in a place like New York at times, and I kind of lived in a bubble when I lived in Connecticut, and just getting to see people as people was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. From Texas to Alabama to California, Anchorage, Alaska, like wherever. Life is hard for everybody. Everyone has a very difficult life. It's very hard to get out of bed in the morning, and when your job is making people laugh, you feel a certain responsibility and love to be able to give that relief to someone. And when you get to see it all around the country, I've got to do stand up in other countries, and people ask, what's the difference? There almost is none, because people are people. It's just lines that we drew that tell us your dirt is better than my dirt. Getting to do stand up is one of the oldest honors, is making people laugh. Like, that's what the kings would have with jesters. And getting to do stand up all around the country makes me love touring, because you get to see places you've never seen before. You get to eat food you've never eaten before. There's so many great things. And also, you're like Jimmy Stewart. You're like, I didn't know I had so many friends. Like, I don't think the human brain is meant to comprehend that you could have millions of people who know who you are and follow your work. And I do meet and greets after every single show, an hour-long show. Then whoever wants a picture will come get a picture with me, and I'll talk to you for however long you want. Getting to see those people face to face, you have imposter syndrome for a minute where you're like, do you know who I am? But like, there's a true beauty that I'm beginning to learn and understand of, we're doing this thing together. Life isn't something it's something you take part in. You don't own it. And we're all connected in that way. Yes, I just watched Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, so I'm feeling very philosophical. But like, that's the beauty. That's my mission in life, is to leave the world a little bit a better place than I was when I woke up. And I get to literally do that through stand-up, or through videos, or through podcasts, or whatever. If it's a good set. If it's a bad set, last night some guy threatened to fight me, and I was like, yeah, you're the same height when you stand up, so I'm not worried about you, brother. But like, I love it. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer. This is
I love it.
All day.
No, you're super interesting. I wonder, when you were a little kid, I'm guessing yes, but were you a funny little kid? Like, did you always see the world through a funny lens?
It's interesting. When I was a kid, my dad loved stand-up comedy. He was a DJ, and he was a wrestler and security guard. We never had any money, and we would drive to his wrestling gigs, and he didn't want to listen to music. So what we would listen to comedy albums. So like, I'm 3-4 years old, memorizing the Jerky Boys and Richard Pryor and Robin Williams, and like, I at a young age learning. Dude, I could relate to people through comedy, because it's allegorical. And I wasn't necessarily the funny kid, but the thing that made me comedy's kind of a weapon that you conceal. My dad was very heavy-handed growing up, and I learned at a young age that if I could make them laugh, I wouldn't get my ass beat as hard. So I think
Interesting.
in my brain, that's sort of what kept me alive.
Yeah.
It
What
kept
about
me-
what about birth order? Do you have siblings, and where are you on that?
I used to, but they couldn't fight. No, I am. I'm the oldest, so I have two younger brothers.
Okay.
One's
There goes
a-
my youngest theory. I have a theory that like it's normally the youngest child who turns out to be like the musician or the comedian or like the rebellious artist.
He's the one who turned out to be a psychiatrist. He just graduated last week because he saw my other brother is a UFC fighter. So I think he saw the both of us and he was like, all right, I got to fix something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. So you grew up kind of listening to it. And so maybe it was more nurture, like you just kind of heard it and it seeped in and interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I had a just affection for the art form. And I didn't realize, like most comedians, that it was something you could do. And when I learned that I could just go to New York and not even perform, but watch shows, which I did for many years. And by the time I started doing it, I would have done it for free. I would have dug my own grave with my bare with my bare hands. Like I loved it. And there's one time I heard a guy in Texas talk about barbecue, and he was like, "It's not something you could teach. You got to feel it." And you can tell nowadays, especially in this Instagram era, when people are addicted to the glory and not to the art. And
yes. Oh my God. Yes.
You know, you feel that,
yes.
you see that, you know what I mean?
Hardcore, yeah.
And I am somebody who is manic and obsessive about the art, and I love the art of doing it. And to me, I love acting, I love directing, I love writing. I will always be a stand-up on top of those things as well, because it's one of the last few things in humankind that we have that we can connect with each other in a live setting.
Yeah, I'm really jealous of you for that reason specifically. It's like I get, when I post a sketch, lots of laugh out loud emojis, and that's the extent of the laugh because it's all like behind a phone. And I feel like I haven't met.
I can explain. I can justify that though.
Okay.
Laughter is a very social thing. Like there's this video of a bunch of gorillas who were going through the forest, and they saw this a decoy camera that was a baby gorilla, and they were very suspicious of it. Then they realized it was a decoy. So one of them started laughing, and then the others started laughing just to let them know that it wasn't a threat. And that's where we have the same brain system. So and there's times where I'm watching a special on YouTube or on Netflix. Like anytime I watch Tony Hinchcliffe, I don't laugh, but I think that's most people. You can bleep that out if you want to.
No, it's okay.
Oh yeah. So it there's a thing what you do with it. Okay, so when people are watching my videos, they're not. Sometimes they're laughing at my stand-up stuff when they're watching on their phone, but it's more of a social situation when they're laughing at my shows. Why it's important you do what you do is because most content and most video and art these days are consumed that way, and so few people do it the correct way. And you are literally, I will tell you this 500 times, you were literally on the Mount Rushmore of people who created that style of doing that. So yes, I understand the jealousy, not being able to get laughs, but you can't just because of your success with those that you've had, you can take the stage. I can teach you how to do that. You
Wait,
can
can you?
100%.
Okay. I'm going to take you up on that. I wrote like a solo show. I've been working on it for a while. Yeah. But obviously it's like you put in those hours, and I put in so many hours to like sketch, the way that you listen to stand up. I was like studying SNL and sketch comedy and characters. That was what really excited me. Yeah. But anyway, okay, cool.
No, I'm
gonna take you up on that.
You're a learner, like you're somebody who sponges things in, and those are the best performers that I've ever seen are the ones who are not asking for the spotlight. Like they're kind of in the back, and they're I think Michael Che, I heard him once say, comedy is written about by the people in the middle of the class, about the front of the class, for the people in the back of the class. Like that's the best way that I like to think about it. And
yeah,
my friend just did a one-man show, and he is a stand-up. But I've been telling him he went to school as Zoran Mondani, and he ran for president against him back in the day. A one-man show about it, and I was like, "You got to do it. You got to do it. This is gonna be great for you. All you have to do is do it one time, and you have the discipline to do it this way. What you need is a director, a mentor, what have you, somebody who's going to guide you along the way and give you the notes and work with you on that. And I could so see it happening. Like your Wonder Woman show could turn into that Netflix or Hulu special or YouTube special. Like you're killing it with the pods now. You're killing it with the socials. You are. Oh my God, how are you after the accident? Wow, I'm a piece of shit. It's been like 20 minutes. It's
actually okay. Like I came out pretty much unscathed, you know? I didn't break any bones. I feel so grateful. I totally could have died. So I'm a single mom. I have a 5 and 7-year-old. And so it's like 8:15 p.m. We're all bathed and showered and like PJs on, ready for bed. And I go to the bathroom and then I hear my son who's on the spectrum, and he's like minimally verbal, brilliant mind, but he's not talking, right? He's communicating in other ways. Yeah. And I hear him go, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And I run out to the kitchen and he's standing there, and I've got this like massive over the top 600-pound French door stainless steel fridge. Okay. That's like in the cabinetry.
Yeah. Those things are massive.
Dude, but Facebook money. But it's like tilting forward and just like tilted forward almost as if he like pulled on it and it wasn't installed correctly and it started tilting forward, right? So, and the doors are open and he's just standing there like looking up at it, "Mommy, mommy." And I push him out of the way and I go to push the fridge back.
Mama bear.
Yeah, but dumb Mama bear, because I go to push him out of the way and then I'm like, all right, I got this. I can push this back into the cabinetry and it just just falls right the fuck back on me. Yeah. Now I'm pinned, right? I have an island right behind me.
And it's just you and the kids there?
Just me and the kids. 8:15 p.m. No adult is due to come in the morning. I'm just going to take him to school. So literally, by the grace of whatever, I had my phone in my sweatpants pocket. And
my goodness.
Dude, and I never have my phone at home in my pocket. No.
Right, yeah.
You know? Right. But I had it in my pocket. And so now I'm like pinned against the island. It's just slowly crushing me on my chest, my hips.
Oh my God. Lord.
It's just slowly just crushing into me. Dude. And I'm like struggling to breathe. I probably have about 10 more minutes before I lose consciousness. You know, your body knows so whatever just kept saying.
You also took a massive blunt force hit too.
Well, it was like a slow, when I went to push it back in, it just whoosh, like that. It wasn't,
okay.
If it had gone full, I would be dead.
Yeah.
It was like a slow crush, and I was just stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it was just slowly crushing me.
Oh my God.
And so I'm stuck. My 5-year-old's like, "Mommy, oh God. And I'm like, dude, I'm struggling to breathe. I pull out my phone. I put it on the island. I call 911. Like 3 firefighters break through the garage door. Thank God, dude. Everything about this situation could have been so much worse.
You could have died.
Yeah. If I lost consciousness, I would have been a goner. Cause like, all of it. And then my son ran out the back to the backyard and he'll elope too. He's just like very curious. Like he's literally at 6 years old. He figured out how to manually open my gate and just off to the local grocery store to get Sour Patch Kids 1.4 miles down the road. He's smart, but he like lacks a sense of danger, and he thinks he's a little adult, and so he'll just like, you know what I mean? So
oh my God, you are such a good mom.
Thank you.
You're so strong, man.
Oh my God, dude. But you know, the firefighters broke through the door.
Yeah.
It took 3 fully grown firefighters to get this fridge off of me. And then they take me to the trauma unit. Yep. Ex-husband comes, with the kids, and thank God. And then, I'm just there till like 3 a.m. and they do full CT scans on my body. And the doctor comes back in and he goes, "You've got really strong hips." And I was like, "Stop. Thank you." And he was like, "Seriously, like your hips saved you."
How did that?
Yeah.
How? Yeah. How did they save you?
No, well, just they didn't. They could have broken, and they didn't. They were my hips like stopped the fridge from crushing into my spine, and I was like convinced that I could be paralyzed because it was my lower back spine. So, and then and this is probably bad, but I was just thinking like. In the ambulance, I was like, I may never be able to walk again. You just don't know. You have no idea, right? You're in this insane amount of trauma. I was trapped under there for 20 minutes and you can't feel anything. So you don't know. And you just, even the firefighters were like, "This is not good." And I'm like, well, fuck.
That's the scary part when they're like, it's not good because they're supposed to be calming.
Yeah. Yeah. And when they're like, it's not good. And then my second thought was just like, well, like wheelchair comedy, like what can I got a rebrand, and like I really was thinking that. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Like I was like already thinking about like what my next would be.
That's how your brain is wired.
Yes.
You're not a quitter.
No, hell no.
You immediately were not the victim there. You immediately were like, okay, you play the hand you're dealt with. That's
right.
Are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One of my heroes. That's amazing. I'm so glad that nothing serious happened. I went all big ass furniture out of your house yesterday. I'm sending you IKEA foam padded walls, and I'm just glad you're okay, man. That is crazy.
I mean, no broken bones, like everything about the situation. I'm 6 feet tall, so like
I'm 6'4". We could
really?
79. Yeah.
Look at that. So if I was shorter, it probably would have crushed my ribs, or like, it just, the placement of where it was pushing, like everything about the situation kind of worked out, could have been so much worse. Yeah. And I'm suing the company who installed it, this like luxury appliance place. They installed it. There were 9 screws in the front to secure the fridge. None of them were screwed in. None of them.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, Troy. So they just put the shit in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm suing them.
Oh yeah. You got to get paid, girl.
I'm going to get paid for this shit.
Yeah, you are.
And then, dude, and there's all these conspiracies now online that are saying I made it up, because I'm not kidding you. My 3rd book comes out.
Oh, no, I saw that. Yeah. I saw the made up. Yeah.
My 3rd book comes out in July, and it's called "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Hotter." And everyone's like, "I see what you did." They think I orchestrated the fridge falling on me to like sell books.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that it makes a lot of sense. And that's great. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy, the conspiracies? And have you ever had crazy backlash or conspiracies or anything around you?
Oh.
How did you handle? Because even after all this time, you would think I wouldn't care, or like I wouldn't read comments, but it still does hurt. I think artists are deeply sensitive, right? And
of course.
Yeah, but so how did you handle that?
Not well. My ex moved out about a month after because she couldn't really take being around me, and I get it. But I wasn't that bad either. I was
you're like, I thought I was fun.
No, I mean, like I'm not gonna get into it.
You can if you want.
I'm just gonna be the bigger person to take responsibility for it. I luckily was able to continue to do stand-up because of my relationships with the clubs, but your life changes when you are on the road all the time. And plus, by the way, that was my sole source of income. The water got completely shut off. I had never thought I would be broke again in my life ever. I went from making, I'm not going to divulge how much I was making, but to making nothing. Yeah. I was living off my stand-up money, which this roach knows how to survive. And it was very humbling. A month later, I had a show at New York Comedy Festival, sold out. My fans are the best people on the planet.
Wow.
And a lot of the backlash came from, there were people who, I'm a outspoken, pretty left-wing. I am a leftist, left-wing guy. I'm for the equality of women. That's right. Of all people. That's just who I am. the amount of love that came from them was amazing. I think, but I know you and I both work in an industry where you'll get comments that just stick in your head and you're like, why is this bothering me so much? And also, why did this person feel the need to say that? And why am I letting their opinion of me get to me? Why can't I? Because then how many times do you reach out to somebody and because they said something horrible to you and they're like, oh my God, Laura Claire, thank you so much for reaching out. I didn't think you'd see me, queen.
So what about relationships? How are you in relationships?
Mine just ended. It crashed and burned.
And how are you feeling about that today?
Horrible. Thank God for Lexapro.
Does it work? Does that work?
I haven't been able to cry.
But you should cry, though.
I am not opposed to crying. I cried.
I struggle to cry too.
Yeah, no, I think that's sort of the purpose of the medication, is to stop those kind of outbursts like that. But there's
But are you a serial monogamist, or like, because I hear, you hear a lot of cliches about like touring stand-ups.
I come from a long line of cheaters, and I have been a cheater myself in the past. I've had my great grandmother owned a brothel. And my father beat it into me as a kid that it's just in our blood, and I don't blame him entirely for it, but it's definitely affected how I had acted in the past. And it wasn't until I had become older where I realized what I was doing. And I'm somebody who, when I have a problem, I attack it head on. I focus to make sure that problem doesn't happen again. And I'm not a perfect person, but I have done the work. I think I was in a relationship with an evidently perfect person, because I'm the one who had to change all the time. But there is that friends to lovers pipeline will have you in therapy for the rest of your life.
Friends to lovers?
Yeah, she was my best friend.
For how long?
8 years.
Do you think men and women can be friends?
We were.
But then it evolved into more.
Yeah. And it was a long time before it happened. I think that the common thread is, or the common conception is, and I used to say this too, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but like, I used to say men can't be friends with women because if your friend texted you right now, hey, do you want to have sex? You're going to say yes. And there was always, even when we were friends, there was an undeniable strong connection there. We both knew it. And she was with somebody at that time. So it was never going to happen. And then I moved in with them, and that was great listening to something you love all the time. But it's the longer you hold on to something, the harder you hold on to something, the easier it is to slip through your fingers. And obviously I'm a huge nerd. I'm a Buddhist as well.
You're a Buddhist?
That's how I got off cocaine. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Are you?
So, okay. Well, I'm interested in Buddhism. I grew up atheist right outside Chicago. I was like the only atheist. No way. So yeah, okay. Working class, no money. My dad was 6'4", nerdy science musician guy. I feel that I'm spiritual, right? Meditation. Yes. I pray to something bigger than myself. I call that love or the power of life itself. My idea of a higher power changes all the time, but Buddhism is the only religion that really interests me. It's more of a philosophy. And so I'm really interested in how you found Buddhism and how it serves you. And
my father got into it when he was stopped drinking, and he would take us these meditation classes. And I hated it when I was a kid, but when I was getting off of blow, that
was my drug too. P.S. We're the same person.
Yeah. When I was getting off of that, my come down movie would always be Empire Strikes Back, and Yoda would be talking about never his mind on where he was. What he was doing. So I would think, okay, I have to think about where I am. What am I doing? What's that? That's mindfulness. So I bought this book by Robert Wright called "Why Buddhism is True," and he's actually a guy who the Wachowski sisters reference a few of his books when they wrote The Matrix, and the problem. I think Buddhism should be taught in American schools the way the mile run is, because the biggest problem people have in life, depression is thinking about the past, anxiety is thinking about the future. We don't stop and think where we are. We're looking to the future and to the horizon. And that's what I always had a problem with. And when I read, there was a passage in the book that was talking about these rats or these monkeys who they were giving them cocaine water, and they put this light on before they gave them the cocaine water, and they would study the scans of the monkeys before the water would go on, and they noticed that the brain levels would go up way higher when they saw the light versus when they had the actual cocaine, because it's just the thought of getting it. And you're like, oh my God, it's time. I'm about to have it. It's coming. Here we go. And so I started thinking anytime I wanted a bag, I'd be like, oh, monkey light, that's how you need. And then I started meditating. And then I realized that nobody's good at meditation. You have to learn how to, it's a muscle you have to exercise, how to be mindful. You have when to note, am I thinking this? Am I feeling this? And it's what I've never written a joke on paper in my life. I'm the Jay-Z of comedy.
I was going to ask you that. I assumed that. You strike me as that person that's never written anything down, but that's really interesting.
I formulate the ideas and I have them, and I've been doing it long enough to where I'm confident in the layup. But that's also mindfulness, and it's years and years of practice. But I always wanted to be a Jedi Knight, and that's who they based the Jedi off of for Buddhists and samurai. So there was a lot of crossover there. And when I was getting off low, I couldn't do the 12-step program because of the higher power thing or whatever. And plus AA, I don't find it to be it's kind of a scam. So I went.
Why do you think it's a scam?
Because the recidivism rate, the cult-like environment. You really don't want to get me started on this. I'm gonna offend some of your listeners. I don't want. I'll tell you about it off air.
We'll talk about it off air. Yeah.
The Four Noble Truths are what got me through. Those became my 12-step program. The life is suffering. Suffering is caused by selfish craving. Selfish craving can be overcome. The Eightfold Path is the path to overcoming selfish craving, and then it's right speech, right? I forgot what the rest of them were, but it's those 8 commandments, or those 8 not even
principles.
Yeah, principles. Yeah. That I forced myself to live by. And it for a while I was worried that it was going to make me not a good comic anymore, but there's addicts on both sides of my family. I struggled with addiction for almost half my life. If I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, I need to be in control of who I am. And once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. So like there's just
I need to see that movie.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, I'll watch it.
And I won't steer you wrong. I'm telling you, shit will change your life.
All right. So in order to stay sober, you're finding like some sort of spiritual practice is essential.
Yes, but the big spiritual practice aside from meditation is the job. Like I can't be getting,
dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I can't be going crazy all the time and be at the top of my game. If this isn't right, what comes out of here is not going to be right. And
also, it's like, yes. And like selfishness and self-seeking are the root of our problems, right? So that's why I view everything in my life, my work, my kids, my friends, my family, as how can I serve?
Yes.
Some people naturally are givers, right? That's not me. I had to learn how to give and like create that new habit of like in the morning, I say, okay, what can I give today rather than what can I get? Not every morning, it's progress, not perfection, but that saved me.
Where did that come from? Where did that transition come from?
Because I was heavily addicted to drugs too, and I was dying, and I got sober really young, but I would have died if I didn't stop, right? And I think when you get sober, you have to stop numbing, right? And then so for me, why do I numb? Right? Because I'm resentful, because I'm in fear. I'm crippled by 1,000 forms of fear. I'm scared. I'm not going to in pain. Yes. Yes. So, I had to learn tools to combat those things, and walk through those things. So one way for me is affirming, right? It's like, what was I going to say? I ask whatever it is, like like I said, I'm not religious, but I'll ask like the universe will just affirm today, let me live in love, not fear, right? Let my decisions be based from like faith and love rather than fear. Let me be of service rather than selfish. It's just these kind of like affirmations that I'll do in the morning to set my head right. And then also it's becoming willing for me to like forgive everything and everyone. That's really important to me, right? Because
that's another reason you have to watch Star Wars.
Okay, I need to watch it.
Darth Vader and Darth Vader's Luke. I didn't mean cut fish.
No. That's kind of it. Like I had to build this design for a living, so I wouldn't go back to whatever my addictions were. And it's funny too, when you stop one thing, do you ever notice that another one pops up?
Yep.
Like I think why I'm so successful is because I probably was a little addicted to success and just killing it. And but that's why I blew up.
That's
too.
why you're exactly right. And it's not anything. I'll never apologize for it. There is you have to be a certain level of manic or crazy or have that certain thing about you to be like all the most successful people I know got something that's a little weird about them, and that is what makes people. I mean, Nikola Tesla married a bird. You know, like there's always got to be something weird. And something's always got to be weird to someone.
I saw one video of you because I discovered you. What was it? Whenever I DM'd you, that's when that's the first time I saw you. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, you got something special, kid. Like, what did I say? I don't remember.
It was very sweet what you said to me. I meant the world to me.
Well, you just have this like star quality, this like charismatic thing that's just so special. And it's so clear that you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not doing, like you were saying, there's hacks out there everywhere that are just doing it to get. And you're giving, you're just giving yourself every day. And you're such a gift to the world. And I'm so happy I came across you. I feel like we were meant to meet.
I think we were too. How do I say this the right way? Pain recognized pain, Laura. I felt it. And I think that you are a pioneer for all people, but specifically young women who want to do, because it's increasingly democratic, the social media game. And there's the right way. There's a quote from Casino where he's like, all right, Henry, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, and the way I do it. And I think that you show people that I can be who I am, look like how I do. I look a certain way. I know I'm 11. But I am weird, and here is you're gonna watch me be weird, and people respond to it, and it's weird for you because you're like, wow, people like that. Wow, I didn't know it's gonna be like that. That's crazy. And then the more that you are, the more the real audience comes to you, and the more. That's why you have 3 million followers after 10 years and doing all this.
26 million.
That's what I said. Sorry, my bad. You had 3 million when I checked, so you must have just had another ball.
Well, across all platforms, 26.
Yes. That's what I said. I'm sorry, my mic must have broke up.
How don't you know this, Troy?
I do my research. You are very important to not just me, but there needs to be more people like you, more powerful Black women like you, Laura, who are just out there doing what they're doing. And are you still coming to New York in July?
Someone did say I looked like Vanessa Williams.
I could see it.
I'm just putting it out there.
I see it. I always saw you more as a Whoopi Goldberg, but Vanessa Williams works. I see it as Whoopi Goldberg. Look at it right here. Are you still coming to New York in July?
No. I mean, it's all
right. Well, then you got to StreamYard my podcast.
Do you never come to Los Angeles?
Call CAA. Tell them to do something about that.
Would you ever move here?
If I knew how to drive.
Just so we could be besties?
I know. If I knew how to drive, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
But like, you don't perform here ever?
I'm trying to do a show at the Hollywood. What is it? The one of the ones. I think it's on Melrose. I've done Irvine. I've done Brea. I've done Oxnard. Like I've done those clubs out there. But not LA.
Well, when you come, that is LA. So when you come to LA, we should film. We should write some stuff and film some cool stuff.
I would love that.
Yeah.
And if I do a show anywhere, I will put a gun to your head and make you do 5 minutes on it.
Okay. That sounds great.
Tickets. Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah.
I love the blackface act before we started recording.
So I'll do that.
Totally do that. Who can take a sunrise? It's amazing. I think how you killed it.
You're sure it's not too much?
No, I am not sure.
It's possible I'll be going in July. I'll keep you posted.
Keep me posted, but if not, we'll do a StreamYard.
We're going to do a little StreamYard. Where can everyone find you?
I am often outside of the DMV because Vanessa there owes me $12 because she overcharged me because I never said I'd be an organ donor. Not in the way she was thinking. No, people can find me on my web. I'm on tour right now. If you live in Nashville, Charlotte, Newburgh, New York, San Jose, Plano, Texas, my website, it sounds like a scam site. It's not troybond.comey.io. I'm on social media, troybond69, TikTok, Instagram, 1 through 68 was taken. I have my own, I have 3 podcasts. Bonding with Troy Bond. I have one about Star Wars called Certain Point of View, and I have one about comic books called Secret Identity, which I didn't realize how gay that sounded until I named it that. But check me out on any of those platforms, and Laura is going to pop up on one of those very soon.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming on and opening up. You're amazing.
You are. I was floored when I saw the only 2 people who I've been floored by when they've messaged me are you and Dwayne Johnson.
Really?
Yes.
Are we your 2 favorite people? Yes.
You are my favorite person. There is no 2 people. You can't compete. You're a fighter, you're a survivor, you're a mama bear, and you're my hero. God, I want to play you in the biopic.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good. I think you could pull me off, actually. All right. Well, okay, now you're my bestie. This was great. Thank you so much. Yeah. And let's keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch, please. I'll send you my number. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're the best. You're a goddess among women.
Thank you. So are you.